Hey, what's going on, guys? This is fineokay from SoaR Gaming, and today I'm going to be making a video on how to rotate as a solo laner. By no means is this like a cookie cutter, like do this every time, but I'm just going to give some tips and a general like idea of what you're supposed to be doing. I'm just in a random conquest game with an Artemis bot, so I'm just going to push this wave real fast just so we have it. So let's just pretend this is normal. We're just pushing the wave right here, and then there's an enemy solo laner. A lot of times it's matchup dependent, but if you're playing a god that can out clear, a lot of times what you want to do is pretend there's just somebody here. I hit them with my bludgeon and I kill the entire wave really fast. They're still working on the wave or whatever. I'm just going to rotate into the jungle like this. I'm going to go into the jungle unless I can poke them, like for sure. If they're playing up, I can poke them, but I can just walk into the jungle, and this does two important things. One, it gives me easy access just to walk mid here, because like pretend there's a fight happening right here. I can easily be here and just come behind them, and their solo laner also has to call out that I am in this jungle. So it forces them to play back, or it forces there to be a power play in mid. Now I took a while in the jungle. If nothing was happening in mid, I would already be here again near the tower line to push the next wave, right? So we're pushing this center tower, and another important thing is we're just going to let this push for a while. That tower's going to do a lot of damage on it. Another important thing is proxying as a solo laner. So let's pretend we see everybody on the map right now. We see that they're contesting oracles or they're fighting around mid camps, and these buffs are about to spawn. So we know that the jungle is around here somewhere in mid, maybe in the Gold Fury side of the map. And we know that all we have on this side of the map is the solo laner, right? We know the speed is down, blue is down, so they're not going to be worried about that on this side of the map. So what we're going to do is we're just going to walk up and proxy this next wave. I have Mark the Vanguard. I mean, this isn't like a realistic situation, but if you have Mark the Vanguard, you can tank this entire wave and take no damage with Destil. I'm not like a god like Bologna or something. So now that I proxy this wave, we're going to wait to see how long this Phoenix, the minions that spawn from Phoenix, get to here. And after I clear this wave right here, it takes about 40 seconds, right? 10 seconds of the wave being dead here, and then 30 seconds from the minions to get from the Phoenix to the lane, right? So that means if the enemy solo laner isn't proxying the wave right now, like I did, he is going to have to either wait for the next wave, or the minions are going to push under his tower, and he's going to take a bunch of damage on his tower, so he has to rotate with me. So that does a bunch of good things for the team. It opens up a power play on this side of the map. I can walk into the jungle, rotate mid. I can TP over to a Gold Fury fight, and my wave is so pushed that I won't have to worry about him split pushing my tower. I can easily just get to any fight there is, and I don't have to worry about my lane being pushed. And you know, pushing away is one of the most important things in Smite. So I could be fighting a mid right now if there were a fight while he had not proxied the wave. If you both proxy the wave, it becomes like a little game of like, well, who's going to TP in first, right? So that's kind of the idea with that. Next, we're going to talk about TPing and why getting TP is like the most important relic for a solo laner. Okay, so next we're going to be talking about like wards around Gold Fury or this side of the map that we can TP to that are just amazing. You know, a lot of times fights will break out around Gold Fury right here, right? Or around this area, this corridor right here, just anywhere around this area, you know. And a lot of times they will not have somebody standing back here, and a lot of times it's good to just, sorry, I'm saying a lot of times a lot, but if you have a ward right here on the red buff, or like just somewhere in this general area, especially on the red buff, it's best. You can TP to this ward after you have pushed your wave super hard, and you'll be behind them. Say they're all fighting right here around Gold Fury in this little area. If I TP to this ward, I can have like a perfect flank on them. They will not recognize it, and I can easily, say there's like a 4-man grouping, I can ult in, use my blood, you know, do whatever. This is pretty common for any solo laner. Artemis bots just pushing the wave, so that's a really good ward to have. Another good ward to have, especially like around Gold Fury fights or duo fights, is like somewhere in this like area, this like laning, because not a lot of people walk this way, and I can easily just come behind, like I can TP to this, and say they're starting gold, come behind them and just like flank them really well and have that really good TP. TPing is like one of the most important things for solo laners. That's all what rotating is, really. There's plenty of other ward spots. Those are two really good common spots. If you TP to a ward like right here or around gold, a lot of times they'll recognize it and just kill it, and then you won't TP. And there's also a bug where if they kill the ward at a perfect time, your TP will go on cooldown and you won't get the TP off. So that's kind of annoying. The tower's dead, so this kind of sucks, but another thing is when you're in lane and say that your enemy solo laner is playing like aggressive or like playing up into you and you know that you can poke him, a lot of times it's really valuable to either get a gank off and get him really low, force him to either back TP in, or force him to just go back to base. And what these do, two things. So if he has to back to base and then TP in, then his TP's down, and you can make a sick power play on the other side of the map. Just look for a TP, you know, tell your team like, hey, you know, let's just pretend it was S3K, TP down, right? I tell my team, and then I tell them to force a fight on this side of the map, right? Just force it, because then we can have a power play. It could be a 5-on-4, a 4-on-3, right? I just tell him to force it on that side, and I TP in when his TP's down. Another thing it does, if he doesn't waste his TP, ooh, Thunder Destruct. If he doesn't waste his TP, then he has to walk back to lane. And if I push the wave, I can walk into the jungle, and he's like, oh, I have no idea where their enemy, where the enemy solo laner is right now. He could easily rotate mid, and you know he has to call that out to his team, or you know whatever. I can easily just walk into this jungle, and he has to call missing or whatever, and I can fight in mid. I can get to gold. My TP's still up, and my wave's pushed. So if he's just worried about split pushing, I can force a fight here. I could win the game just by getting a DSI, getting gold, right? So it's like pretty important to do stuff like that. And if he wants to split push, I can TP back to right after this fight is over, right? And then it's become like a fair trade, right? If we kill them, say we kill them, or we get gold, or do whatever, it's become a fair trade, because he's not gonna, his TP's gonna do nothing for that time, because we just want to fight and got gold or did something over here, right? So his TP won't be as valuable as mine. I'll just TP back and defend my lane and keep pushing, and I'll keep farming and get really far ahead. So that's kind of the deal with TPing and forcing them out. So another really important thing that people overlook, I think, when they're TPing or rotating over, a lot of times they're just waiting for it to happen. But I think you have to have a mindset generally that you want to get a power spike before you TP in. So I can buy breastplate right now. Let's pretend I just finished enough gold for it. I've just been farming, getting everything, splitting as much as I can, getting as much jungle buff farm as I can, pushing waves, and I was just able to get breastplate. And let's say there's like somehow I can like get a sick gank off or flank, my waves pushed, right? I'm gonna back. Why would I TP in if I can back, buy this breastplate, and then TP on this side of the map? I'm just gonna TP to this floor, but say like there's something going on over here, I can easily get this breastplate and then TP in. Now I have an entire item on the enemy solo laner, unless he backs and TPs in too, right? But it's good to just do that, because those power spikes are important. And one of the most important power spikes is your boots, your full boots power spike. Almost every solo laner's full boots power spike is amazing. If you fight, like if they're invading your jungle over here, or like they're just playing up around solo, Ellie's are about to be up. If you can get boots, you should back for them as soon as possible and TP in with boots. And some people might think it's a waste, but that boots power spike is insane. And if you fight in here and play it right, you can get pickup kills almost every time. And your ult's like so good. Most solo laners' ults are really good at level 5. So say they invade, I TP in with full boots, I'm gonna be one-shotting everybody over here. Like if I was Herc's boots power spike is like amazing. He can like one-shot anybody. I mean, Bologna's is amazing. Osiris is amazing. So yeah, those are important TPs to worry or look for. So yeah. All right, guys. So in summary, just a few things just to keep in mind when you're looking to rotate or whatever as a solo laner. So you want to be pushing your wave, make sure your wave's pushed. If you can proxy and safely proxy, do it. It gives you a huge power play, like a 40-second power play to rotate over to the other side of the map. And if the other solo laner is not doing it, then it's even better. Poke out your enemy solo laner when you can. That's a whole different topic or another video that I would have to make, but you know, if you're experienced or looking to get better at solo, just try and poke out when you can. If you can force a TP back to lane, it's amazing. You can make a power play TP on the other side of the map, right? Almost every solo laner can do it, right? Every warrior can do it. Every guardian can do it. Not every guardian, but generally, most solo laners can poke out and get a good rotation off. Walk into the jungle. If you can't poke out, walk into the jungle because they have to call missing, and then you get an easier path to mid lane if there's a mid lane fight, or an easier path to gold. On the way, a lot of times there will already be a fight, and you'll walk past a wave. You should either push that wave in mid, or just try and evade it so you don't get caught by it as much as possible. And most of the time, go high side. So when I say high side, I mean like go on their side of each part of the map, so that you can get a flank off and make sure you're doing it safely. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. Sorry I can't like get a really good examples of it. You can just watch my gameplay videos. I do it a lot. It's a lot more apparent and easier to do in competitive, because you can call to your team these things and tell them like, hey, force a fight here, and I can TP over there, or they can tell you to do it, right? So it's a lot more apparent in competitive, like I said. But either way, those are just some tips and some helpful things to help you TP or rotate as a solo laner. So yeah, guys, I'll catch you in the next video.